Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is TU Football Update, brought to you by Brahms. Here's Jeremy Poplin.
Hey everyone, and welcome into another Digital Desk here, brought to you by our good friends at Brahms, as we go inside the Tulsa loss on Saturday against Tulane, one of the standard bearers inside of the American Athletic Conference. Well, it was not a great night on either side of the ball for Tulsa. Trey Lamb felt like that his team, his words, was a bit exposed at times during that game, especially on the interiors. And one of the shocking developments of that was just how good that the Tulsa offensive line has been throughout the course of the season. And then to have it all, I don't want to say completely unravel, but to be under immense pressure for the majority of the game, in which Baylor Hayes, it just seemed like he was running for his life for the most of Saturday afternoon into the evening as well. So we'll hear from the head coach, Trey Lamb, coming up here in just a few moments. Remember to like and subscribe all of our great content on Oklahoma's own sports YouTube channel that we have just launched for you, and channels on Tulsa, channels on Oklahoma State, and the University of Oklahoma as well, and great Thunder coverage coming your way as soon as the season gets underway, which is just in a few short days, with the preseason schedule getting fully underway. All right, let's hear from the head coach, Trey Lamb, himself after the loss to Tulane, in which dropped the Golden Hurricane to 0-2 in the American.
Yeah, got our butts beat tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They had 100 yards more offense. They dominated out of halftime. We're not there yet. We need to get there quickly. That's a good team. It's the best team we've played top to bottom. I thought Navy's offense was probably as good, if not better, but they were better on defense. We got manhandled up front. Just going to call a spade. Our quarterback was running for his life, and we rushed the ball for about 3 yards a carry. So those numbers are not going to add up. We lost the turnover margin. Just some disappointing things today that we got to get cleaned up. We got exposed by a good team. And when we play teams right now where we're at in our program, we don't have a ton of room for margin for error when we're playing. We need the PI calls. We need, the face mask. That doesn't need to go against us. We need to make our own breaks, yes, but also like good things got to happen to us to beat those guys. I thought we needed to win the turnover margin by 2 to have a great chance. We gained a possession with the surprise on sides, which I thought was well executed by our guys. Was proud of the way we fought again. I don't sense any give up in this team at all. And that's a culture thing. That comes from me and our staff and our players. Just told the seniors we got 7 more opportunities. We got to keep chopping wood, keep carrying water, and keep getting better. There's a lot of meat on the bone, but my focus right now is be the best at getting better. And wish we could have scored there at the end. Their quarterback's a really good player. I thought he was as good as advertised in person, and their lines of scrimmage beat us up. Questions?
What did you game plan for offensively to try to mitigate the advantage they obviously had on the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, our guards were going against – they're an odd front team, so they're playing with 2 4-eyes, which is – they're covering the guards, all right? And it's really – Navy did it, and they did it, and right now that was our weakness. I mean, our guards are – they attacked it, and they did a good job of it. We read the 4-eye. We read the B-gap player. We had plenty of reads in there. We popped some runs when we did that, but when we lined up and they lined up and it was drop-back pass or even first-down runs, they won the point of attack. Probably should have more unique formations. We went tackle over a lot to try to prevent that from happening, so we didn't get those solo matchups. But their number 29, Santana Hopper, I've gone against him for 3 years in a row. He was at Appalachian State, and we knew that was going to be a tough matchup for us. And their pass rusher, number 5 and number 0, are really good transfers. Coach Summerall, you got to give them a lot of credit. They've got it rolling. He's a really good coach, and they got a good thing going. And we tried some things to get those matchups fixed, but we're not there yet.
You had Micah Tease and Mekhi Miller on the out list for what is their status and why were they out?
Mekhi injured his hamstring in Micah injured his hamstring in practice, and Mekhi had an undisclosed injury in practice this week. So both those guys were hurt.
Did you feel like Baylor Hayes could have done any more than he did, or did you feel it's like the duress was just?
Yeah, I mean, they got a senior quarterback that started for 3 years at BYU. We've got a freshman that's on his 4th start. That's not an excuse, but through reps, when he's having games like that where you're getting beat up, you still have to have the wherewithal to sit in there. It's a lot easier said than done, trust me. I've played the position. Which you're getting banged up and you're getting hit and you're getting chased but when you do get protected, like I thought we had a couple opportunities where he got off the read too quick and he kind of has big eyes. And that's the first time I've seen that out of him. It's also the first time we haven't protected him. So, yeah, he's got to be better. I thought he played just okay, but also he's running for his life, and he got beat up pretty good. I was proud of his toughness, I'll tell you that. Like he got up time after time.
How did you, I guess, what was the strategy you were going with when you had the couple of trick plays early? And so some of that stuff, how long have you had that in, and what did you see to drop that at that moment?
Yeah, we typically carry a few each week, and, our emphasis has been completing passes down the field. Well, if you can't win one-on-one matchups, you got to create that through trick plays or mesh routes or, rub routes or stacking receivers, bunching receivers, motioning receivers, because in the first 4 games we haven't been able to line up and run by anybody. So our strategy was to find ways to get behind the defense any way possible.
Well, you've been talking about explosives a lot. This sort of builds on what one of them schemed up, and then one it seemed like Baylor sort of made a play. You did get 2, against a good defense. So, if you would maybe speak to that.
Yeah,
bit of progress.
certainly proud of the few plays we did make down the field. I mean, the true freshman comes in. We had a plan to play him. Grayson Tempest came in. We're still, I think we all know, we're still hunting for that outside receiver. Booker's been great in the slot. Brody Foley gives us a ton in the pass game and the run game, and we're looking for that outside guy. So I don't care if it's a freshman, 5th-year senior. It doesn't matter to me what he looks like, how tall he is. I'm looking for somebody on the outside that can separate and make plays, period. And we tried 2 new guys tonight, and Grayson had 2 big catches, and, Donnell right there at the end he probably played 20 plays tonight. So we're searching for it constantly because the guys we've been playing have not given it to us, but we're also not going to give up on it. You can't just say, we're not going to throw the ball deep to our outside receivers. That's a recipe for disaster. People tee off on you.
When you were talking about kind of the differences in the 2 programs at this moment, it would seem like either it takes a couple years of development with players or, just a killer portal class. But I'm wondering with the rest of this season.
I have no doubt. I think we'll get there this year. I really do. I think we're going to knock off somebody that we weren't supposed to beat. I think, we've got 2 really good opponents the next 3 weeks. You got Memphis and ECU who are going to be tops in the league. And I just told our guys that this is not a rebuild. And I've been very adamant about that. We're not coming in here to establish a culture and see how we can get better. We're coming in here to win, and the expectation hasn't changed.
Satisfy your sweet tooth with a Brahms old-fashioned banana split. Crafted with a delicious banana, split down the middle and filled with not 1, but 3 scoops of Brahms premium ice cream flavors. To complete this masterpiece, all your favorite toppings are poured on each scoop to bring it all together in a perfect harmony of flavor. Treat yourself to an old-fashioned banana split at Brahms, where every spoonful leaves you wanting more.
All right, the players met with the media as well, including Elijah Green and Zion Steptoe after the loss.
This week, we watched film, we looked for weaknesses, and we practiced to expose those weaknesses. We obviously didn't expose enough of those weaknesses. We had some wins, some losses, but we didn't have enough wins, so we didn't get the win.
From your perspective, what is necessary for you guys to find a little more spark down the field with your receivers?
What is necessary to find a little more spark down the field with our receivers?
Because y'all had your biggest offensive play of the game, or passing play, offensive play of the season.
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to get you.
Yeah, no, and then just, but in general, Coach Lamb has mentioned that you don't maybe have enough of a home run threat offensively. What's it going to take maybe to change that for the last 7 games of the year?
Yeah, I think what it's going to take is going back to the drawing board starting tomorrow, watching the film, figuring out different ways, different looks to get down the field, and taking those shots and making them.
So, Elijah, what did you guys see from them? And I guess talk about going in there in the second half and continuing to stop them, even though y'all spent a lot of time on the field in the second half. What was kind of the mindset defensively?
We just really had to stop that one play. I feel like we were stopping them on, like, first, second. Like, 2 plays, 3 plays, but we got to stop them on that initial play, like that initial big play that they wanted, and we just wasn't able to do that tonight.
How would you evaluate the play of their quarterback and kind of how he played compared to what you guys saw on film from him?
I feel like we did a good job getting after him. I mean, he got away some, but, I mean, he's experienced, so he kind of showed that a little bit tonight. He kind of got it to his receivers whenever, like, on the short stuff whenever they needed, and then banged the big ones when he needed to, and got active, like, on the run game when he needed to. So he was a little smart with that, but it was okay. It was pretty cool, I would say.
Yeah, for both you guys, you created a lot of momentum for the program and the school and everything last week.
Yes, sir.
How much do you think the momentum was halted tonight, or not necessarily? What do you think tonight's game meant for the momentum you created?
No momentum halted at all. Regardless of the win, regardless of the loss, it has in no way affects the process of what we're going to do for next week. So there's no momentum halted. This is a new Tulsa, and we're going to come ready prepared for next game at Memphis.
Yeah, no, he took the words right out of my mouth. We prepare for every game the same, so as soon as we start the week, that win or that loss is in the trash, and we're preparing for the next team, ready to work.
Good. This is a tough stretch of games. You know, you guys made the trip out to New Mexico and then came back against probably one of the best teams in the American and Navy, and then it was a short week to Oklahoma State, and now one of the best teams in the American, and then you'll go face, maybe the best team in the league on the road next week. What is kind of the approach for you, both of you, if you would, just personally, too? I mean, this is a tough stretch, but I'm sure you're looking to embrace it and respond the best way you can.
I'm going to say for the team, I think this defense, we just want to show that we got what it takes to get off the field on third down. We got what it takes to shut down the whole whole offense, and not let them get anything for that quarter, for that half, and just really put it in offense hands to just do their thing. I think this defense works very, very good together. Individually, I want to just have my defense comfortable and knowing that my side is locked down. There's nothing coming this way, and if it does, that's my play, and I'm going to just emphasize that for sure.
What's your name, sir? Caden, can you repeat the question, please?
What is kind of your personal approach to getting through what is a pretty good grind these last few weeks and keeping going forward?
Caden, my personal approach is nothing but gratitude. We would want it no other way. Like, how could you want anything more than this? You know what I'm saying? Like, the spotlight is on us, and it's amazing. Like, how could you want anything else, man? So gratitude. We're getting back to the grind, and there's like we said earlier, like nothing. This win, this loss, the win against OSU. If we would have lost against OSU, it would have no bearing on the process, and we're going to come in tomorrow, Sunday, when we come to work. So yeah, gratitude for sure.
Things don't get any easier for Tulsa as they head to Memphis coming up this weekend to take on the 5-0 Tigers. Let's take a quick trip around the American Athletic Conference with Memphis beating Florida Atlantic 55-26. That was a close game up until the middle third and fourth quarter there at FAU, but Memphis put up 31 points alone in the fourth quarter to ultimately end up covering that 15.5-point spread, which might have played a little role in my lock of the week on the Blitz, being able to handle that. South Florida was idle. Next up for them is Charlotte Tulane, coming off of their win over Tulsa. They are idle next week as well. And North Texas, who's at 5-0, they beat South Alabama 36-22. They have a week off, as you can tell. It's a big week off inside the American Athletic Conference. Navy beat Rice 21-13. Midshipmen battle with North Texas, who can see that they might have the least amount of attention on what they've done so far through the course of the season. Very, very quiet with North Texas and Navy talk just across the country with so far what they've done through the course of the season. And then another one that we're keeping an eye on is East Carolina, who's 3-2. They beat Army 28-6. That was a Thursday night contest. That will be who Tulsa faces after the open week, in which they play Memphis for a Thursday night contest. Any fans headed to Memphis coming up this week, don't forget it's Wrestling Day. Oh, yes. We'll be keeping an eye on which former wrestling stars will be there, including Jerry Lawler last year. I think Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, was there last year. This started a couple of years ago in Memphis. I think Tulsa was the very first team that they had this overall event. And I remember having a lengthy conversation with former WWF star Coco Beware about his travels through the city of Tulsa when he used to wrestle here on a regular basis. Met Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, you name it, they were there on that very first wrestling edition for the Memphis Tigers. We'll see. Probably not the star-studded lineup that we saw there, 3-4 years ago against Tulsa, but it is back. So just a heads up for any of the Tulsa fans that are making their trip over. We'll see what Trey Lamb has to say at his press conference and whether or not we're going to continue moving forward with the starting quarterback that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. We'll find out what Trey has to say and much others as we get set for our next midweek pod. Remember, thank you to our sponsors at Brahms. Make sure you stop by and support them, and to hit that like and subscribe button here on Oklahoma's Own Sports on YouTube. We'll see you next time with another TU update, and that will be midweek after we hear from head coach Trey Lamb.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma's Own Digital Studios sports presentation. Stay with News on 6, online and on television anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.